Organization called the CANARY Mission work hard to expose terror funding and agents against Israel. I wanted to show you this important video which they just produced about how the US campuses are being systematically penetrated and turned into a cesspool of jihadism. There's a lot here that we have to learn, so let's watch carefully.
You've probably heard of Students for Justice in Palestine, the virulently anti-Semitic campus organization created by UC Berkeley professor Dr. Hatem Bazian. But you might not have heard about Bazian's other organization, American Muslims for Palestine, or AMP. AMP was founded in 2006 and has become one of the leading groups providing anti-Zionist training and education to students and anti-Israel activists. AMP's goal is the destruction of the State of Israel.
And this is important to pause here and to understand. It's not an exaggeration that the final goal is the destruction of the State of Israel and not like a two-state solution. Nobody's playing for a two-state solution. The truth is, they never were. It was always a cover for this. And now this time has become obvious. They're calling from the river to the sea. That's the destruction of Israel in entirety. That's what they want to get to. And let's just stop deluding ourselves that they're fighting for rights or equalities or opportunities or land. They're not fighting for some land. They're fighting for the whole land. And their goal is to destroy Israel, and it's very well thought out. Let's see.
It aims to achieve this by influencing American society in 4 key areas: university campus activism, lobbying Congress, influencing left-wing intersectional politics, and turning American Jews against Israel.
Okay, so these are 4 very, very key strategic goals, and they are after these goals and doing a great job. By the way, notice that some of these goals seem very much like what AIPAC tried to do for Israel. Now that playbook is being read and rewritten by the haters of Israel. So they're trying to work at university campus level. And now we've seen their achievements at Columbia and other schools. Congress, there's more, not just lobbying Congress, but making sure to elect congressmen and women who are anti-Israel, influencing intersectional politics. It's all about Palestine. It's not about, other issues anymore. It's like it all intersects with Israel-Palestine issues, and turning American Jews against Israel by weakening Jewish identity, by weakening the Jewish story, and using anti-Israel American Jews against Israel. So this is a very well thought out approach to penetrating U.S. mindset, U.S. Jews, U.S. non-Jews, U.S. power base to become anti-Israel. So Israel's former, if that's what these guys will be successful, Israel's former great supporter of the United States will be turned to become an anti-Israel force in this world. And let's see how they're doing it.
AMP has made significant efforts to support and coordinate anti-Israel activity on campuses, mainly through their support of SJP chapters.
We're helping SJPs and MSAs nationwide in bringing Palestine to U.S. campus.
AMP is arguably the leading BDS organization in the U.S. It is a key sponsor of the anti-Israel campus network known as Students for Justice in Palestine, or SJP.
Part of AMP's campus strategy is training anti-Israel activists to take political action. At its annual Palestine Advocacy Day, activists meet with members of Congress and their staff.
Now AMP is in D.C., establishing roots.
Establishing political influence here in the United States.
We have to get involved in this country and influence them. We have to influence Congress.
So that's like, it reminds me so much of what AIPAC used to look like, but these guys have got heat behind them and energy, and they're using the AIPAC playbook in reverse. They're trying to get to Congress, and as I said, not just influence the congressmen and women that are there, but elect the right ones, what I call the jihad squad, to undermine Israel.
AMP has attempted to position itself as an integral part of left-wing intersectional politics.
Ferguson to Palestine! From Ferguson to Palestine!
AMP have now begun to infiltrate Jewish-based organizations, such as Jewish Voice for Peace and If Not Now.
Well, I'm not sure the word infiltrate is correct here. They are on the same ideological side, and I'm not sure what came first. I'm not sure that it's being penetrated per se. I think that really they have the same goal. These extreme left, far left Jewish organizations with the, let's call it, jihadist right. I don't know if right and left makes sense here, because they really both have one simple goal, which is the destruction of the Jewish state as a Jewish state. So I don't know if the word penetrate is right, but let's say they're working together.
A new broad coalition is coming together. If Not Now is an important piece of the puzzle.
The leadership of far-left Jewish group If Not Now has encouraged AMP to not only provide training of its members, but even to work in full partnership. This includes Naveen Ayesh, who called being Jewish a crime worthy of the rope. Taher Herzala, who celebrated violence against Israeli Jews. And Hatem Bazian, who called for violent uprising in the USA.
And it's about time that we have an intifada in this country that changes fundamentally the political dynamics in here.
At the same time that AMP attempted to influence American opinion, their leaders and members have not held back their hatred of Jews and the State of Israel. They have called for the murder of Jews, expressed support for terrorists, shared conspiracy theories, and even spread white supremacist propaganda. The following is just a small sample of the violent anti-Semitic statements made by AMP leaders and activists. Osama Abora Shaid, AMP National Director and Board Member. The cultural infiltration also includes the Zionist influence in the media. They have a significant impact on the media as well as on Hollywood. Naveen Ayesh, Executive Director, AMP Missouri. Never trust a Jew. I want to personally set Israel and all the Israelis in it on fire and watch them burn to ashes. Burn, you bastards. Mohammed Habeh, Director of Community Outreach, AMP, New Jersey. Who said Arabs are trained to hate Jews? What we have towards them is natural. These Pakis are more gassed up than a Jew in Nazi Germany. Lena Youssef, AMP Chicago activist. I believe in Holocaust, one of my fave parts of history. Remember Hitler? He should have finished them all. Taher Herzala, Associate Director of Outreach and Grassroots Organizing.
What if, as Muslims, we wanted to establish an Islamic state? Is that wrong? What if, as Muslims, we wanted to use violent means to resist occupation? Is that wrong?
Hatem Bazian, Chairman and AMP Founder. The Jewish nation is the central myth of Zionism. It needs to be dismantled.
This is a very important point. I just want to stop here for a second. At root, the narrative war against Israel is one that denies Jewish history on every front. It denies that the Jewish people are indigenous to the land of Israel and that we have had two commonwealths here before this third one. And it goes even further to dissolve not just our connection to the land of Israel, but also to ourselves, meaning to say it's here to dissolve the Jewish story as a peoplehood. And you see this guy Hatem Bazian saying the Jewish nation is the central myth of Zionism. So it's not that, listen carefully, it's not that Zionism is a myth of the Jewish nation. He's like, Zionism as a movement has in it a precursor, which is that there's a thing called the Jewish people, and that's the central myth. So you understand that the attack here is not that, and that's why it's anti-Semitic, right? That's not why it's not only about land, the land of Israel. It's really about Jews in general. Jews as a people who don't exist. They are just some kind of group that tries to control the world and tries to grab this land. They're not really a real group. There is no history to them. And you see that out there, that really the denial is at the lie that they're accusing us of is not only of trying to hold on to the land of Israel, but of existing as Jews. So the other side of that is that all Jews are targets. It's not just because of Zionism. They are now after Jews in general. The if not now people don't understand that. I think that if they would understand that actually what Hatem Bazian and SJP are really about is really dissolving as Jews as a peoplehood. But okay, they're against all those things. They're against Jews as a peoplehood and against Jews in the land of Israel. They want to undermine everything that is Jewish and Israel and Zionism.
AMP seeks to turn university campuses, Congress, left-wing activists, and far-left Jews against Israel. At the same time, its leaders spread vile anti-Semitism, share neo-Nazi propaganda, and call for violence against Jews. AMP is anti-Semitic to its core. To find out more about AMP and their partnership with If Not Now, visit canarymission.org/AMP If Not Now.
Very important work being done by the Canary Mission, and I thank them very much. And all of us have to understand that we are being manipulated in the media, in the campus, even in Congress. There's words that are manipulative endlessly, like genocide, like Israel's committing a genocide, and Israel's killing children, and Israel is illegitimate in the get-go, and Israel doesn't have any history. The Jewish people don't have any history. The Bible is a myth. And all of these are really attempts to undermine everything that Israel stands on, the pillars of Israel. And the other side is to not only dismantle the infrastructure, the intellectual infrastructure of what is Israel and the Jewish people, but anybody who supports Israel. And so that's BDS, and that's attacking artists who come to Israel, or companies that work with Israel, or politicians that like Israel. And that is the power. They're going after the whole kit and caboodle. And that also it points to the problem of the current war, which is the enemies of Israel are going, as I said, for the kit and caboodle for everything. But we're going only just after Hamas and only the terrorists, not the society and not the narrative and not jihadism and not Qatar, not Iran, but only against Hamas. So we're like going after the stick. But who's waving the stick, which is international jihadism, as they say, globalized the intifada. We are fighting an asymmetrical warfare against a much bigger foe than we understand. And of course, the answer is to keep fighting all of them, to be aware of that. We all have to be aware of the manipulation that's happening, but we have to also do a counterstrike. And the counterstrike is to globalize Zionism, globalize the Zionism. Globalize the light of Israel, globalize people's connection to the Bible, to Israel, to the Jewish people, to the story, to God, to Jerusalem. And by the way, parenthetically, one of the ways that the SJPs and all these organizations around the world have been attacking Israel, one of the main things that they've attacked, and also Western society has made it easy, is the death of the Bible as an important book. And so therefore, it is imperative that we teach the Bible. If we don't teach the Bible and the connection of the Jewish people, the land of Israel, and you can teach it as history, you can teach it as spirituality, but understand that the enemies want to cut out of this world the Bible, as they want to cut out the Jewish people, and as they want to cut out the Jewish people's right to the land of Israel. So let's be aware of the manipulation on the one hand. The other hand, let's send out a pulse out there. And that's the opportunity of this time. It's a time where people need education, want to get connected to the story of the Jewish people, the Bible, Israel, Zionism. We got to make that thing light up, and we got to globalize the Zionism, just like they want to globalize the Intifada. It's really very simple. It's either a type of nihilism that the jihadism actually symbolizes, a kind of death cult, a nihilism, even though it portrays itself as theism, as Godism. It's not. It's a type of death cult and nihilism. Or do we want the light of Israel, a connection to God, to history, to identity, to the rights of people in their ancestral lands, and to ethics and morality, and purpose, and a life purpose? Yeah, it's actually a global battle that we're fighting right now. It's a huge battle. I want to thank again the Canary Mission for putting out that important video to help us understand how the enemy is fighting against Israel. God bless you folks wherever you are. Please subscribe to Yishai Fleisher TV and stay connected. Write me an email, yishai@yishaifleisher.com, and keep being strong out there. God be with you.